Let's go.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's extra light. Actually looked like the sun was beaming down my eye, but nah, that was just the closet door. But hey guys, I'm here to review Ninja Reviewer here to review episode 252 of Fairy Tail. Wait, is it 252 or is it 251? I'm not really the best with numbers when it comes to this, hold up. This episode pretty much focuses, well, the main focus is basically, we all know what it is. It's basically the gray versus silver fight. And we remember from the last episode, by the way, I do apologize that this episode review is pretty late. I was going to review this like the other night, but I think I completely forgot, or I was busy doing something else. So I wanted to get this out of the way really quick because I didn't watch Dragon Ball Super yet, so that was the only reason why I really want to get this out. Then I got Dragon Ball Super later on, so it's like, yeah. So basically that's the reason why I want to get this review out, and sorry it's pretty late, but at least, you know, I finally got towards it. So anyways, yeah. So this episode, we got the main fight, which I think is the most awesome part about this episode, is the fight between Gray versus Silver. I think this fight was freaking awesome. It was one of the best fights, again. Really hands down, really good of Tartarus. A really classic, memorable moment from the Tartarus arc, and it was really awesome. Like, the animation has stepped up its game a little bit, and I did notice that when the actual fight began to finish. It was actually really impressive. Like, we basically see that Gray is using all his magic against Silver, but as we all know, the ice effects won't really work because he's also a power that can make below sub-zero degrees, so he can pretty much turn anything into -0. So all the ice magic and everything else will attack him. So he pretty much finds some other strategy. He says, like, if those attacks didn't work. So we basically just see them just clashing with each other, like going with all these different magic skills, mostly a lot of ice stuff, but most of it doesn't work against Silver, especially because we find out the huge plot twist at the end about, it turns out Silver wasn't really Deliara after all, but we'll get to that in a second. So we see that Silver is pretty much just like talk shitting about Gray, like, look, you know, you can't really destroy me. I'm a Sub-Zero. I learned devil magic to get myself stronger from years ago because from what happened after your sensei Ortier used the spell to actually seal me up, you know, with the ice. He's like, you know, after my goal was for vengeance to actually kill all of Ortier's princesses. Like, I'm gonna go after you. I'm gonna go after oh shit, what the hell is that? I've seen him, so that's why I've been out of the loop. I mean, well, then again, we did see him in the last couple arcs ago, which was the Grand Magic Games, but Leon, there we go, Leon. So he was going to go after Gray, Leon, and then pretty much his entire crew members of Fairy Tail. But Gray didn't really allow it, so he was going to use the ice shell technique, the sealing technique that was used to seal Deliara years ago. But then he shook a bit. He's like, wait a minute. And then he's like, how come you're getting so nervous? He said ice attacks won't work on you. That's what Gray was telling Silver. Then he's like, well, yeah, that's actually true, but it's like, how come you got like kind of surprised when I was actually going to use it? And he's trying to say to him, like, no, trying to convince him not to do it. But he's like, no, it doesn't really matter. Even if I do sacrifice my entire life, it doesn't matter. I'm going to try to do it without sacrificing my life, but it's enough to finally seal you, even using all what I got of my power. So pretty much after he used the ice shell magic, it pretty much backfired and it failed, and Silver was able to actually knock him down easily, and Gray did fall. He was pretty badly injured, but until he finally realizes that, so if ice can't really kill, actually, to tell you the truth, the strategy to this fight was actually really smart. What he did was basically he put him in a trap. Like, and that trap was to basically use like an ice clone. So after he used one of his ice clones, you know, he thought Gray was actually finished, like after he hit him, but no, apparently it was an ice clone that pretty much just like shattered. And what happens is the real Gray actually used like an advantage to actually make some ice cannons, and instead of using like the cannonballs full of ice, he uses rubble or debris from the ground to actually damage Deliora, or in this case Silver, but it's not really Deliora, so I'll get to that in a second. So after he finally discovers it, which, by the way, that was a pretty freaking badass, awesome way to finish off Silver off, by getting like a big ass hole in his chest after being shot by the rubble, by the rock cannon. And when that happens, is that he pretty much has a hole, he's pretty much out. Then Gray pretty much figured out, it's like, you know, giving me all this advice, you know, telling me not to do this and that, you know, saying that, you know, that you're really Deliora, you're using devil magic, and he goes, quit lying to me, you're definitely the real deal, you are my real father, aren't you? And he's like, yep. And he didn't, well, and that's pretty much what it is. He goes, but why though? Like, why on earth would you help me? Someone that's your enemy, you're part of a dark guild, why would you help me out, even though you're my old man? But we didn't get that explanation just yet, but that's going to be in the next episode. There's other stuff in this episode as well. Again, the little mini fights don't really, well, the only fight that sort of started to get going sort of is more of Juvia's and Keys' fight, which is the only one I think that kind of started to build up like a bit more. But other than that, again, it was the same issue from last week, how most of the fights, they sort of started, but it doesn't look like they really go anywhere like too much. And then we get this like random comedy scene like with Happy, Panther Lily, Frog, and what's his name? Sting's kitty cat that he bitches about. Oh, Lecter, yeah. Apparently they find out that the mushroom, or Fremont, of what he is, Fremont pretty much, you know, he's getting afraid, like, you know, how could, like, pure, like, how on earth am I seduced to this, like, mushroom? Because I'm, like, one of the top, like, people of tourists. Like, bitch, you're not the top person, because pretty much you got your ass handed to you by, like, freaking someone. All you do is just pretty much, like, steal magic from everyone else. You basically just, you don't really have that real talent and magic of your own. Yeah, you kind of suck, buddy. Like, you really do. And basically, you kind of, like, lost to not only a dragon slayer, but you lost to a girl, to a celestial freaking wizard. Come on, man. So, you basically, you kind of suck, pretty much. And we get this little comedy scene of them eating Fremont. It's like they looks like a really ugly mushroom or something like that. Frog, being stupid, eats the thing, thinking that it's good, but it's not, and he spits him out. So, that's pretty much where that comes in, I guess. There are just little scenes here, but not really. It kind of doesn't really set up the mood, because we want to see more of the fight. But we're getting all this other stuff that doesn't really seem like it's, like, moving, like, you know, the plot along with the story. So that's kind of a thing that I'm not really the biggest fan of. But whatever, though. Mainly the fight with Gray and Silver was awesome. So if there's only, like, one little tiny little nitpick complaint I have, is that there's these little side things that kind of takes away from the actual, like, fight, that you basically just want to see the main fight. Like, I really thought they were going to get to the whole thing with that in the past, which I thought they were actually going to do that, but apparently that wasn't really the case here. So I was really expecting all that for, like, one episode, but we didn't get that. But whatever, though. Regardless, I still thought the episode was pretty damn great. Again, animation has stepped up its game, so I give it really high points for that. The only, again, nitpick I have is just these little fights, mini fights, sort of started, but, like, not really. They don't really move that much of the story along. And, yeah, and then that, like, that random scene with, like, the Nikus and all that, which is, like, didn't really care for that, like, too much, but whatever, though. Overall, I give the episode a 4.5 out of 5. Great plus episode. I mean, if it wasn't for those particular scenes, this episode definitely, hands down, this episode was fucking still epic as shit. It would have gotten a 5 out of 5, but give it a bit more points down due to some other things I didn't really care for, like, too much. But mainly the most important thing is that the fight, what made this episode great, though, was the fight itself is actually over. It progressed and it actually ended. And then next week, we're going to get the memories of Silver, which is going to be in the next episode. And I believe the Juvia and Keys fight is going to continue in the next episode as well, but I'm not technically so sure, but we'll see. Oh, by the way, also, we're also going to be getting a new opening and new ending next week, I believe. Yeah, from what I looked at it, we're getting opening 21 and ending 21 coming up next week, so that's going to be pretty cool. So I'm excited for that, especially because I will also do a live reaction to those and my thoughts on opening 21 and stuff like that. But that's not until next week. I mean, not next week. Actually, no, not this. Actually, it'll be coming up this, well, Friday, really. So Friday, we got to wait October the 2nd. Yeah, October 2nd for the new opening. So that's going to be pretty hype. So I'll let you guys know about that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So again, 4.5 out of 5. Great plus episode overall. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Tell me your guys' thoughts about this episode. Until then, guys, this is the Ninja Reviewer signing out. Peace out. Anime manga fans, keep supporting what you watch. And stay tuned next week for episode 253. Later. Bye.